Hey guys, my name is Tommy Gerlach and I'm a professional guitar player living in Nashville, Tennessee. When I'm not playing shows or on the road with various artists, I'm working through an online company called GuitarMasteringMethods.com or through myself doing one-on-one lessons through my website at TommyGerlach.com. I've been teaching for a couple of years now, and I noticed that I started getting asked a lot of questions about the pentatonic shapes and how we can make them applicable to our guitar playing. So after doing a lot of those sort of ideas with my students, I decided I wanted to start making some YouTube videos to help other guitar players answer some of these questions. And so before we dive into the pentatonic shapes, what I think is the most applicable way to relate or to use the shapes is to relate them to chords. And again, most lead work we're playing is going to revolve around the chord we're on or the band's on. So before we start, I just want to make sure that we're familiar with the 5 pentatonic shapes, or if you're familiar with the cage system, they're the same shapes. So starting with the first position, so if we're in C, I got my pinky on C on the 8th fret of the low E string. And here's my first shape. And then we could go to our second, third, fourth, fifth. So, those are our 5 shapes, and if those were new to you, or you feel like you don't have those down, I'd recommend getting those down before we proceed. Or stay tuned, and we'll get to it through the video. And if those shapes aren't that familiar to you, stay tuned. I think we'll still be able to work them in, but I would definitely recommend working on those and taking them through all 12 keys. So the next thing I want to make sure we have are the major and minor pentatonic shapes. So the first one being the major pentatonic shape off of the low E string. So here's my C major, and then lifting up the middle finger gets our minor shape. And the next one being C major from the 5th fret, that bar chord, that A bar chord shape, and then the minor. So if we know those 5 shapes and these 4 chords, we'll be ready to get going with this video. So the first place I want to start is if we play our C major pentatonic shape, looking at the 3 closest areas we can go to. Also thinking that every root note, so every C on the whole neck, there are 2 pentatonic shapes we can go from. So from this root note of this chord, we have our first shape and our second shape. Those 2 right away are ones that I would go to. And this other shape is our third one, which we can slide into by going 8, 10, 12, and now we've just slid right into that shape. And so if we practice that, it'd look like. And those are some shapes that you'll get into, and you'll notice if country, say we're going to G here, going into the third shape is real common, and we can take it through. It's a really common sound you'll hear amongst rhythm guitars. And then knowing that we can also go into the first or second shape really easily too. And the next chord we'll look at is the C minor chord. So if we're starting with our C minor bar chord shape, the real easy one is just that first minor shape. By just playing the chord. All right there. So that's a big John Mayer thing, a big Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan thing, is with the thumb chord and then going into some lick. And it's really easy to move around the neck as well, because wherever we play, say if I'm an A minor, it's real easy to get into that shape. I want to jump now to the 5th string. We're going to have the major bar chord, so our C major. And so right away my hand's now in the 5th shape. Or we can slide into the first shape. And that's another common one. And you'll notice is very similar to the low E string sliding into the third shape. So if we got... Now that's a real easy thing to do, and it's really easy to move. You know, so again, from the 5th string major shape, we got the 5th shape right there. And we can slide right into the 1st shape. Those are the ones I like to use a lot to enhance my rhythm playing. And then we have the minor shape. So now we have the C minor chord, and remember, what makes this chord minor is having the E go to an E flat, so we're lowering the 3rd, which gives us this E flat. So the shape that makes us, that gives us that flat 3 is going to be our 4th position. And we can think of this in a couple different ways. Remember, if we take C minor, the relative major is then E flat major. So this 4th position shape for C minor is also our 4th position for E flat. If that helps you figure out where the shape is better. But for me, knowing that wherever I have my minor, or excuse me, whenever I'm playing a C minor or a minor chord, the flat 3 is what's going to give me that shape. So being able to go 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1 is going to help me. So, and that's cool too, because if you notice, right out of this shape, we have this lick, which is our... So a lot of times if I'm grooving on this minor chord, and I want to get up here, I can just slide through the shape. So if we're going 5, so that was a little slide in the 5th shape. Now I'm in that 1st minor shape. That gets us into our typical Stevie Ray Vaughan type shape. Cool. So these are some really easy ways to make the pentatonic shapes applicable to our guitar playing by knowing where our chords are and knowing how to get into shapes really easily. And then it's easy to move between chords. So like if the band's going from a C chord to an F chord, I might literally just join them. And now here comes the F chord. And so I think a good practice is to just pick a couple chords and to just move around. I'll give you one right now. If y'all are my students, I would say, okay, now we're doing a 1, 6, 4, 5 in the key of C, which is going to be C major, A minor, F major, G major. So we can combine all of these ideas that we talked about so far in the lesson by taking our C chord. Let's hop into a shape, A minor, into a shape, F, into a shape, G. So there you have it. Please comment below if this sparked any creative ideas for you or helped you find a way to navigate the pentatonic shapes a little bit better. Please like, thumbs up, or comment any new video ideas. I'm really enjoying helping teach students and showcase a little bit of what I do, and I think it's really easy to sound good as a guitar player, so I hope these ideas are going to help you become a better guitar player. My website is Tommy Gerlach Music, and there's lesson info if you're looking to do a 101 lesson, or you could DM me on Instagram at Tommy Gerlach Music. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'm excited to see you soon.